I want to welcome you back to Black Side tonight. We're going to talk about a black firefighter who was forced to attend a racist Juneteenth party while on duty. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. In Rochester, New York, a firefighter basically alleges that he was forced to attend a racist Juneteenth party where they made racist gestures towards politicians and many other people. Now, we're going to take a quick look at a partial of the news conference they had in Rochester, New York. So I'm going to cut the video on.
First, I want to thank everyone who came to support Mr. Jones today. It takes a lot of courage to do what he's doing. This is not easy. A lot of people tried to persuade him from not doing this morning. I want to say what he's doing today represents an act of courage, and I'm proud to represent it. My name is Nate McMurray from Advocates for Justice. We are a law firm that works to protect people that have suffered from this type of injustice. And we're here today because Jerrod tried every other thing he could to resolve this and was not given an adequate response. So what are we talking about? Mr. Jones was on duty with firefighters that he served and loved, and for a department that he loved, that he had given 14 years to. Now his job is he goes to the roofs of buildings when they're on fire and chops holes in the roofs of these buildings. It is one of the most difficult jobs you can do. And he did that honorably for over a decade. And then one night, they had dinner together. They were going to go to a community event. Their captain told them, we should go to this event. They always travel together. That's the rule. So he went in uniform, in a fire truck, under the order of his captain, to one of the most disturbing events that you can imagine. In the middle of our town, right here, we're in the middle of Rochester, in one of the most affluent communities, there was a party. Jerrod came up the driveway. He saw a cutout of former President Trump. It made him concerned because he knew he wasn't supposed to be, as a firefighter on duty, at a partisan political event. But when he turned the corner and saw the backyard, it was worse. He saw, first, it's difficult to even talk about it, but he saw an impersonator of Rachel Barnhart, who's going to speak today, acting in a sexual manner to help rile up the crowd while they taunted her. He saw signs mocking Juneteenth, under which there were buckets of fried chicken. He saw on the ground posts with the pictures of elected officials throughout the yard. Now, this wasn't at some strange camp in the woods with a bunch of weirdos. This was under the direction of his fire chief, or his captain, rather. This was commanded that he should go there. The other firefighters were immediately distressed. They expressed this. Eventually, he was able to leave while he was taunted by the homeowner. This is a terrible thing that happened. I think in this society right now, we've become numb to this type of thing. But we can't be numb to this type of thing. And when Mr. Jones went to his commanders and went to his officers above him and he said, this is terrible, can you address this? Can we handle this? They assigned him to work with the same captain his next shift. Nothing happened. Today we see some comments coming out because we're taking action. And that's why we're taking action. Because this can't go on. There's a wound, maybe worse than a wound. We're not pouring salt in that wound, we are exposing it, disinfecting it, and we're going to try to make it heal. And that's not easy. Talking about these things isn't easy. But I give great credit to Mr. Jones for doing this and for these good people that stand behind him. Because this has to change. This is bigger than one captain, one event, one party. This is systematic of a problem that for too long people have tried to put away, wipe away, and ignore. And today we're going to address that, and we started that today. And I'm thankful to Mr. Jones. And again, he has the courage to speak to himself directly. And now, Mr. Jones himself.
Good afternoon. My name is Jerrod Jones. I've been a Rochester firefighter for 14 years, and I've served my community proudly. I was born and raised in Rochester. I love the town. I'm from the west side. It means a lot to me when I put that uniform on, and I've always wanted to represent my city in the correct manner, in a decent manner, honorable manner. And what I had to experience a month ago, it cut me very deeply. I'm sorry to even have to be here today, but in order for things to change, we have to do difficult things. And one of those difficult things is speaking up against a department that you love with everything within you. And sometimes some of your brothers may be collateral damage, but I decided to speak up today because I have 2 children that maybe one day will aspire to be firefighters, and I don't want them to have to experience what I experienced. I wouldn't want your kids to have to experience that. There's a lot of young people that are on the job today because of me, and they look up to me. So I feel obligated to do the right thing and speak up. Traditionally, in the firehouse, we handle things like a family does in-house, and things don't make it out to the public eye. But every once in a while, something happens that can't be handled in-house. And this is one of those things. This is one of those times. And as terribly as I feel, I'm glad it happened to me and not somebody that could be easily intimidated. So,
when you belong to a racist department, and you have them all over the country, fire departments, police departments, and this captain felt, so comfortable that he could take his firefighters while on duty to a racist Juneteenth party. That tells you how racist that department really is. And I bet you those black firefighters are under fire every day, just like in other departments across America. And most of these departments are in major cities, which have black mayors, sometimes have black commissioners. But it doesn't make a difference because they control the apparatus. See, when you have these large departments, they have an ingrained fraternal order of police or a fire department with a similar organization, and they're basically run by racist white people. And this is what they do. Nothing so far has happened to this captain. He's probably got over 20 years, of course. He can retire whenever he wants to and receive his pay. But we have to understand that most of these departments are ingrained with racism. And it's hard. It is extremely hard to get rid of that organization. You would basically have to get rid of the unions to get rid of the racists within these governmental departments. Now, this brother been there for 14 years. He said everything has happened in-house. I bet you other officers in the next few weeks, firefighters will come out and say the same thing. And he did it on purpose because he probably didn't like this brother. We have to understand that this racism is not going to go away. It's ingrained into America just like blood is in your system. We'll have to deal with it, but the only way we can deal with it is as a people, we must stick together. I want to thank you for listening to raSiSt. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button. but also share this video.